Next up, we have Darragh Duffy and Kate Hynes to take you through a demo of how GIS mobile workflows can reduce delays, improve project certainty, and decrease efficiencies both in the office and in the field. Take it away, Darragh and Kate.
Every day, teams in the field are gathering inspections, photos, and information. But the reality is, the data they collect doesn't always make its way back to the office quickly or consistently, and that slows everything down. Mobile workflows change that by providing us with a simple, reliable way for field teams and office insights to remain connected in real time. So let's look at what actually gets in the way of that information reaching the office the way that it should. Here are some of the key challenges we see when information needs to move from the field to the office. First is fragmented data, spread across paper notes, photos, and different systems. There's slow reporting, which often leads to delayed office updates. We see inconsistent capture, with different crews and regions recording information in different ways. And without asset-linked tasks or standardized processes, work becomes harder to track and follow up on. These challenges aren't about people not doing their jobs, they're about the workflow. And this is exactly where mobile GIS can help make the biggest difference. Mobile GIS helps bridge the gap between what's happening on site and what the office need to know. They provide us with consistent capture, so information is recorded in the same way every time. They provide us with a faster field-to-office flow, with information moving straight into the system, providing a single source of truth. They enable repeatable processes and offer real-time insights, giving everyone a clear, up-to-date view of what's happening on site. Together, these benefits help organizations make decisions that are faster, clearer, and better informed. So with those benefits in mind, we will now show you how we can connect the field to the office in one simple, continuous workflow. Starting with assign, where tasks are sent from the office to the field, through to inspect, where information is recorded on site in a clear and consistent way, and into decide, where the office can take the most appropriate next steps. And with the new Field Maps task capability, we can now assign, organize, and track work directly within the same workflow, making the entire process even more seamless. So now that we talked through this at a high level, we will now show you what it looks like in practice.
So this demo walks through a simple assign, inspect, decide workflow using tasks in ArcGIS Field Maps. So in this scenario, I'm acting as an office space dispatcher, and I'm responsible for assigning and prioritizing field inspection tasks. Darragh is our field worker, and he's responsible for undergoing those tasks and feeding the results back to the office in real time. So the assets that we're inspecting are manholes. So examples of why you would do manhole inspections would be to check for structural issues or defects, to inspect for any potential safety hazards, to prevent blockages or flooding, or to support proactive routine maintenance planning. So we're going to begin in a dispatch application built using ArcGIS Experience Builder. From here, I have an operational overview of all assets within the network. So you can see Sector 2 has been flagged for inspection. If you see the map here, you can see that the tasks are symbolized by their task status. So when they're unassigned, they're red. When I move them to assigned, they'll turn orange. When the field worker marks them as in progress, they'll turn to yellow. And when they're completed, they'll turn to green. So as I mentioned, it's Sector 2 that we're inspecting today, so I'm going to select all manholes in Sector 2. So once I have those selected, I can assign them to our field worker, and I can also update key details. So the task type is we're doing a routine inspection, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to assign that as a routine inspection. Our assignee will be our field worker, Darragh. The status would be assigned. And because this is a routine inspection, I'll set the priority as low. We can also set a due date. And I can add a description if I so want to. So once I select update, those tasks are now assigned to our field worker. However, partway through this planning, I've got a notification that there's potential damage to manholes in the Tritonville Court area due to some construction work in the area. From the office, I can quickly and easily select the relevant tasks and change their task type to an emergency inspection. Once I have the task type updated, I can change the priority from low to high. This ensures the most critical work is clearly flagged for the field crew. Now I'll take a moment just to inspect the tasks visually. So using the status filter on the side, I can update the map to show just the assigned tasks, now symbolized in an orange color. This gives clear visual confirmation that the tasks have been correctly assigned and are ready for our field worker. So now that tasks are assigned and prioritized, the workflow moves seamlessly into the inspection stage.
So once a task has been assigned, the field worker will receive a notification on their mobile device. From here, they can click the notification where they are brought straight into field maps. With the new field maps task capability, the field worker is presented with both a map view and a list view of the assigned tasks. So as we can see from our task list view, there's 294 assigned tasks. So it looks like it's going to be a very, very busy day. But within our task list, we have a filter option where we can filter the high priority tasks. As we can see, there appears to be 12 high priority manholes, all of which are in the Tritonville court area. By selecting the icon, this zooms to the map. If we are still unsure where this asset is, we can select it from the list, and using the directions button, we can open in Google Maps, Apple Maps, or ArcGIS Navigator. So once we have arrived on site, we can see that the task type is an emergency inspection, so we're ready to click Start. This changes the color of the icon in the map, alerting the office that this task is now in progress. So to perform our emergency inspection, we click on our Edit button. The condition of this manhole is going to be marked as poor. The operational status is not working, and maintenance required is going to be marked as yes. We are then presented with a maintenance type list where we can select the maintenance type. For the purpose of this, it's going to be repair, and we can enter any additional details if required. So once we are happy with our emergency inspection, we can click Submit. As we have marked the condition of this asset as poor, the field worker is now presented with a link to complete a follow-up survey. From here, the field worker is brought straight from field maps into Survey 123 without ever leaving the workflow. The asset link is automatically made, and the inspector name is automatically populated. So for our follow-up survey, we'll mark the priority of this work as high. We're going to flag that there is some safety hazards present, which we are then presented with a safety hazards list. We're going to select broken cover, and for the purpose of this task, there is traffic control required. And once we're happy, we can click Submit. But in this survey, an image is required of the asset before we can submit it. Now, as I'm sure many of you here today can relate, you've just completed your survey, you're ready to take your photo, and there's an unwanted object or car causing an obstruction. Leveraging some of the AI tools that you've seen earlier, we can use redacted imagery to mask and hide any unwanted objects from our image, hiding any potentially sensitive information. So once we are happy, we can submit our photo, and then we can submit our survey. The field worker is brought straight back into field maps, where he can mark the task as completed. This alerts the office that this task has now been completed, and the field worker can proceed with the remainder of his tasks. Or in the case of this field worker, he is going for a well-deserved tea break.
So while our field worker enjoys his break, back in the office, I switched to an ArcGIS dashboard to monitor the progress of the inspections as they're completed in the field. So this dashboard just gives an overall glance at some key metrics such as a completion rate and the percentage of manholes that require further QA. You can also filter the map to show the locations of the manholes that require further inspection or follow-up. So as our inspector has been doing the work in Sector 2, I'll update the dashboard to show the progress of Sector 2 so far. So as you can see, that one task has been completed, and that one manhole requires further QA. Using the maintenance required filter, I can show the location of that manhole on the map, and I can see it's in the Tritonville court area. For a more complete picture, we can go to Sector 1, which has been previously completed by our field worker, and we'll look at the charts along the bottom. We can see the number of tasks that have been completed by the field worker, the type of maintenance required for the manholes, and also the overall condition of the manholes in the area. So based on this live operational information, the office team can decide the next steps, whether that's scheduling a follow-up inspection or dispatching the maintenance crew to carry out the necessary repairs.
So to wrap up, the message is simple. When field teams and office teams are connected through mobile workflows, everything becomes easier. The data becomes clearer, the updates become faster, and the decisions are better informed. Mobile